Welcome to Delusional Word Salad, a show that's less depressing than Amy Winehouse's most recent career choice. I'm Alex, an ego qui magnus ad nates, and I cannot lie. To my left is Jake, a guy whose dumpster address is always changing, and the man sitting next to me in a cheap straw cowboy hat, sipping Irish coffee, is Seth.
That ain't coffee. It's just, whiskey in a coffee cup.
Today on our show, we have a special guest, and that guest today is Jesus. Or at least a man who claims to be Jesus. You see, I was down at my local coffee dig when a man approached me and asked for some spare change. Now, I'm the kind of guy who likes to make the homeless work before I give them my money. So I told him I'd give him a quarter if he listened to my story first.
Oh, how noble. Put their asses to work. Taking all our jobs and shit.
Seth, he's homeless, not an illegal immigrant.
Hey, my best friends are illegal immigrants.
How much have you had to drink this morning?
What time is it?
Anyway, the bum agreed to listen to my story for a quarter. I always try and make my stories topical, and since it was close to Easter, I decided to tell him the story of the second coming of Christ. Now, turns out, I didn't remember all the details of the story, and he ended up just filling the part. Now, I'm not a religious scholar, but I'm willing to bet that this one is the one true Jesus. And if he's making a second coming, he might as well make an appearance on our show.
Wait, you brought a homeless man into the studio who's claiming he's Jesus?
He's not claiming he's Jesus, he is Jesus.
You know, I was starting to wonder who that smelly vagrant sleeping under the table in our break room was.
Good old Jesus. He must be heavenly, because he can turn any place into his home.
So we get to interview Jesus?
Yeah, hey, Jesus. Come on in. Hey, Jesus.
Hello, just call me Frank.
Hey, you got it, Jesus Frank. So when's the rapture coming?
Gay people's objective is not to just have lots of gay sex, but also to increase the gay community, to make the gay community more accepted.
That's true, you know. It is mostly gay people who have gay sex. Mostly.
What? What the hell is he even talking about?
All right, so why do bad things happen to good people?
A player buzzes his or her lips while simultaneously blowing air. If you really want your car or truck to smell like bacon, get some hickory chips from a hardware store and fill up a sandwich bag. Poke a few holes in it and then put it under your seat. Bam! Works way better.
Frank, do you even know where you are right now?
This is low. Even for us.
Shut up, non-believers. This is Jesus. You are talking to
The
God.
bird's so justly and not over the ands and buts, but no more. And the two doesn't say very well now, Father. How about that?
Look, Alex, he's clearly just a schizophrenic homeless man who's totally off his medication.
Fuck you. You said the same thing about Sean Hannity.
When she talks in my ear and I start eating her hair and she screams loud in my head, it's nice.
Alex, why is he trying to take off his clothes?
He's Jesus. He can do what he wants.
I'm gonna slip and slide, but not like the bad place. No. No, I'm not gonna go down the slide now.
You know, all right. Now he's starting to freak me out a bit. You know, why is he looking at me while he's saying that, Alex? I mean, hey, why are you looking at me when you're... All right, seriously, yeah. He's fucking staring at me. Hey, stop it. Frank?
Slip and drip. Slide on and slide on in.
Stop!
Slip and
Your
drip.
good Lord has come to give us.
Drip.
Fuck you! I'll smash his head in with a goddamn chip. Get the fuck away from me!
You killed Jesus! Why? Every time he's here, some insensitive asshole just kills him.
That crazy fucking vagrant just tried to rape me.
Jesus doesn't rape. He comes unto you.
You got blood on the donuts.
Thanks, assholes.
We've been on air 5 minutes and there's already a corpse in the break room. Again.
Well, I wasn't trying to kill him, damn it. But when a smelly bum charges at me naked, you're goddamn right I'll smash his head in with a chair.
So how are we gonna get rid of this one?
I don't know. Fucking toss him in the dumpster. It's where you'd find him anyways.
No, he was my guest. This is my responsibility. He was Jesus, and it is Easter, so I can only see one way of hiding the crime Seth committed.
Fuck you.
Seth, let's not get into arguments about who killed Jesus. The Romans, the Jews, or you. We need to hide the body in plain sight. Jake, what the hell are you doing?
Don't mind me, just harvesting some of the Lord's organs.
You're defiling Jesus!
Just once I'd like to do a show that doesn't involve us murdering someone and disposing of their body.
Alex, look, Jesus Frank would have wanted me to harvest his organs to make cash on the black market before they start rotting. It says so in the Bible.
Where?
I think it's Leviticus.
Well, that would be where that would be. Well, when you get what you want... Oh shit, why is his liver black? I know how to get rid of it.
Okay, Alex, how?
We cut his body into teeny itsy little pieces, hide them in Easter eggs, and then we dump the eggs off at that Easter egg hunt in the church down the road. The kids will find them, they won't know what they are, and there'll be too many parts to track down whatever happened. Radio show body count, 3. Police, 0.
That sounds pretty fucking morbid.
He was the Prince of Peace. Now he'll be the Prince in Pieces.
Sure, what the fuck do I care? Well, how do we start?
Well, I got the pieces I needed, but we should preserve the rest of the body while we cut it.
What do we have?
Well, through my own hazy recollection, I remember reading something in some science book in grade school, high school, some school, I don't know. Salt water, I think, is used as a preservative.
Hey, that's great. I think there's a bucket of salts in the bathroom.
A bucket of salt? What would that be doing in there?
I don't know. It just says bath salts on it.
Bath salt? Bathroom. Okay, yeah, got it.
Cool. Let's just soak him in it overnight, and when we come back, we cut him up, stuff him into those Easter eggs, and drop him off. Problem solved. Except the whole murdering the Messiah thing. Seth.
Shut up.
I'm just saying. Not even Judas had the nerve to just beat Jesus in the head with a metal chair. That's some fucking WWE shit right there.
Shut up!
Waking up in strange places is par for the course when you're a huffing master. Glues, industrial cleaners, you name it, I huff it. So you can imagine my lack of surprise at coming to with a bag over my head and being handcuffed in the backseat of a car. Somehow I knew I'd have to use my wits and charm to figure out just what the hell was going on.
Holy fuck, where am I? Where are you taking me? I didn't do it. Someone else did. What about due process? What about freedom of speech? What about the Warren Commission? What about...
Apparently, whoever was taking me wherever we were going wasn't feeling too talkative. That hit on the head had me out like a light. When I woke up again, I was no longer inside a car, but the bag was still over my head, and I was now tied to a chair. I heard footsteps approaching.
I don't know who you are or what you think you're doing, but if this is a ransom, I don't have any money, and no one in their right mind would pay to see me safe.
Relax, Mr. Slitman. You are not being held hostage.
Then what's with a bondage getup? If you think raping me is gonna make me talk, you got another thing coming.
No, Mr. Slitman. No one would dream of sexually assaulting you. You smell so bad that I can't stand next to you for longer than a minute.
Looks like my natural defenses are pretty keen, huh?
Mr. Slitman, the reason you have been brought to this facility is because someone has paid us an extraordinary amount to bring you in and keep you here.
Wait, what? Where am I? This doesn't stink like a drunk dink.
Mr. Slitman, welcome to Sunny Shade Campus, Portland's finest rehab facility. I am Dr. Kalen.
What? No, never. You can't keep me here.
Well, typically that's true. Sunny Shade is almost always a voluntary clinic. But as I said, someone paid top dollar to keep you here under constant surveillance.
For how long?
Until they stop paying us.
But why? Who in the hell would want me without all my exotic eccentricities? That's kind of my thing.
I don't know for sure. Your, benefactor, I suppose, remains anonymous. But judging from your extensive criminal record, I can imagine you have no shortage of people you have wronged.
Yeah, that list gets longer every day, Doc. Consider yourself soon to be on it.
I don't think so, Mr. Slitman. You're not going anywhere. And those restraints aren't coming off anytime soon. I'd enjoy these last few moments of lucid pseudo-clarity while you have them. Judging by the blood tests, your withdrawals are going to be, how do we say, rather nightmarish.
No, Doc. You can't do this to me. I haven't been somewhere in 8 years. I forget my kid's birthday party, and I don't even have a kid. You can't do this. I'll die. Do you hear me? I'll die. My business depends on my magic crime-solving markers. It's the smell of justice. Justice!
All right, we're almost there. I'm just gonna pull in and turn the headlights off.
It's amazing how little these pieces stink. Good idea with the bath salts, Jake.
They smell like fruit and they look kinda gummy.
That'll throw them off our trail.
Say, you guys, you aren't worried that kids might maybe eat these, are you?
No.
Not really. Kids today have the internet. They're smarter than that.
Okay. I was just a little worried that maybe we'd be responsible for feeding a dead homeless man to a bunch of church kids.
Don't be ridiculous.
We're here. Let's hide these eggs.
Okay, 1, 2, 3.
Oh, fuck this. It's taking too long. Just don't.
Go!
Come on down. What are you looking for? I bet you I might have it in my store. You come on down. Come down to my store. You looking for an iPad? Go somewhere else. You looking for some plate? I got a plate. I even got a fork. We got stuff. You looking for stuff? I think you're looking for stuff. Come on down. If we don't sell it, you probably need it. Want some matches? The box is only half used. I'm selling it half price. I'm crazy. Come on down. Come to my store. There's lots of stuff. You can get a vaccination here. We got doorknob. Come on down. Don't forget the kids' crayons. Dulcimer string. Slightly used pots and pans. Come on down. Half used 2 liters of cola.
Scabies!
Shoelace. Come on down. Paper towels. I'm in love with a woman who's got lots of hair on her back. Slightly used lingerie. Come on down. Possessed devil dog. Apple core machine. Voodoo curse kit. Come on down. What are you waiting for? You probably need a shirt. The entrance to Valhalla? Who needs more than one thought? Come on down. I've got mugs. Down by where the construction's being done on the new Royal Century Commandeering Farmhouse. Come on down. Come on down.
It was week 4 of my involuntary incarceration in the Sunny Shade Rehabilitation Facility, and things had started changing for me. My newfound sobriety had brought me a cleansing clarity, a supreme reawakening of the me that was buried underneath years of self-induced chemical comas. My sense of smell and touch returned. My eyesight was no longer blurry and dizzying. Everything was bright and vivid. I no longer heard the voice of Elizabeth Hurley screaming at the other disembodied voice of Donald Trump. Feelings long deadened by constant abuse of inhalants had started to swell in my breast. I was a new man. As my sobriety increased, so did my freedom. It only took 3 weeks of constant raging and delirious ranting that they finally took off their restraints. I was allowed free passage throughout the campus. And while it did worry me that the whole campus was surrounded by a 12-foot steel fence with guard towers and snipers on every corner, I was also still curious as to who was paying to keep me in here. But alas, I was too enthralled by my new sense of being. There was also her. Her name was Catherine. She was the arts and crafts supervisor, and she took a liking to me, somehow overlooking the fact that when I had first met her, I had tried to bite her repeatedly.
Bill, you paint with such a passion. I would have never imagined for a second that such a thing was inside you.
I can scarcely believe it myself, Catherine. If only I'd known I could channel my inner feelings to create these finger paint masterpieces. I quite believe I may have taken a different path in life. And please, Catherine, call me William. Bill Slitman is dead. I will never, ever be that beast again.
All right, William. You're such a kind soul.
No, my dear. It is you who has the kind soul. Since meeting you, it's as if there's nothing else in this world that can stir my heart so ravenously. You are my torch, my light, my guide to salvation.
And you're such a poet.
The days and nights blended together. Catherine and I spent the evenings sipping juice boxes on the roof. It was heaven. Then one night, I found a note from Catherine, reading that I was to meet her at midnight in the cafeteria. Catherine? Catherine, are you here? I can't see very well in this dark.
Ah, Mr. Slitman. Glad you could join us.
Where's Catherine?
Ah, Mr. Slitman. She's indisposed at the moment.
Who are you?
Mr. Slitman, have you ever wondered where most of your cases come from?
As I'm to understand it, most of them were induced by household cleaners and an oxygen-deprived brain.
True, but not all of them.
I'm not that man anymore. I want to live my life sober and to the fullest.
Do you recall any of your cases?
Well, no, not really.
Oh well, you thwarted some of my clandestine criminal operations, you. Somehow, through your depraved, disgusting booze and drug-fueled rampages, you've become a thorn in my side. I am Jeffrey Finn Garrett. They call me the Napoleon of being like Moriarty.
Moriarty?
You know, from Sherlock, never mind. Haven't you wondered who is paying to keep you locked in and off the streets?
Well, quite frankly, I'd assumed that it had been one of the many people I'd ruined over the last 8 years.
Well, here I am, Bill, and I have something of yours.
Where's Catherine?
She's safe, Bill, for now. But if you can't get to the Portland docks by 2 a.m., she may not be so safe.
Hey, release me. Damn you, Jeffrey. Why are you doing this? Leave Catherine out of it.
It must be known the whole city over that no one crosses the Napoleon of being like Moriarty, Bill. Detect your way out of the janitor's closet.
It seemed there was no way out of the janitor's closet. I banged and banged on the door, but no one could hear me. I turned on the light and looked around the room. It was a typical janitor's closet, filled with cleaning supplies. It dawned on me that there was no way that William Slitman could muster up the nerve or brute strength to break out of the closet. But Bill Slitman could.
What's this? Paint thinner? That'll have to do. I love you, Catherine. This is all for you. Oh yeah, that's real nice. Let's see. The janitor, left his jumpsuit here. Sweet, he left a pack of smokes in his pocket. Let me just light this. Bill's back, baby.
All right, children. It's Easter Sunday, and you know what that means.
Yay! Easter eggs!
That's right, children. Each Easter egg has a fun, yummy treat in it. So get your baskets and let the fun begin.
Yay! Hey, is that one?
Nah, that's just another hypodermic needle.
Look over there.
Nah, that's just a balloon full of white shampoo.
Oh, there's one.
Look, I think the Easter Bunny dropped his basket here. There's a whole bunch of eggs right here.
I'm the king of Easter eggs.
God wants you to share, Kara.
Okay. Hey, guys, there's a whole lot over here.
God loves us because we love helping our friends.
This candy looks weird.
What is it?
I think it's a melted gummy worm.
What's that white dust all over it?
Maybe it's sugar.
How's it taste?
Kinda salty, but pretty good. I think it's jerky-flavored gummies. I don't feel so good.
I'm feeling angry.
Why are the land spiders hiding in the trees? Hey, Timmy, my nose itches. I can't reach it with my teeth. Could you bite it off?
Sure.
Thanks, Timmy. Let's go show teacher.
What's this? What's going on? Why is everyone screaming? What is this? Why are you surrounding me? Oh no. Don't put your hand on my arm, Timmy. Timmy, no.
It was 8 hours before someone unlocked the door to the closet and pulled me out. They sat me down on a chair in a conference room, and the good old doc came in.
Well, William.
It's Bill. Are you fucking retarded?
Bill. It seems that not only have you relapsed entirely, but the police found Katie drowned by the Portland docks. It seems that if someone had come and pulled her up before 2 a.m., she might still be alive.
Katie? Who the fuck is that?
Bill, the payments aren't coming through anymore. You're free to go. Enjoy your destructive, degenerate, drug fiend, nightmarish lifestyle before your liver fails you.
Don't worry about the liver, Doc. I know a guy. Say, you never told me how you found me in the first place. I never know where I am. How'd you do it?
Oh, your fat fuck secretary told us.
Is that right?
She told us which dumpsters to look in. I think she was seriously concerned for you. Possibly the only person on Earth who cares about you.
Huh. I suppose you're right. I'll have to find a way to thank her. Properly.
Wow, Bill. It was so nice of you to take me out on a drive through the woods. I didn't know you had your license back yet.
Yeah, sure. Get out.
Sure, Bill. You know I like to roll, 'cause I can't walk so well. But for you, I'll do it. One sec. Look at me walking. Wow. There must not be anyone around for miles, Bill. I bet you could shoot a gun and no one would ever hear it.
Something like that. Walk over there, by that ditch.
Okay. Look, William, there's a big hole here. And a shovel. I wonder who's...
And now it's time for Duncan Speaks.
Being an old man, you probably aren't too surprised to learn that I often go for walks in the wee hours of the evening. Of course,
That's only when the Oregon rain will allow it. What do you want from an old bugger? So anyways, I was out this one particular evening when I come across this neighbor of mine. Well, I think his name was Brad, and he was out walking this short little yappy mutt, like a terrier or a corgi or something. I don't know. I never liked that kind of dog anyway. Well, I'm feeling a bit neighbourly on this evening, so I wave at him and send him a fine how do you do. He marches right on over, all furrowed-browed and red-faced, starts heaping and hollering all sorts of nonsense. So stay away from my family this, or you son of a bitch that. Christ and Bagara. It must have been quite the sight for our neighbours, seeing this young buck letting off on a frail old man. So this feller starts accusing me of breaking into his flat. Oh, you mean the nerve of this fella, as if I had nothing better to do than wait around outside his home and wait for he and his family to leave, to go to the back of the place, use the flat edge of a knife to flip that flimsy latch on the window, climb on in, be sneaking around all burglar-like, through the kitchen, down the hallway, past his daughter's room to the third door on the left, go into his bedroom and start pleasuring myself into his wife's underthings. I may be spry for an old man, I says to him, but you'd have a hell of a time convincing a jury, I says. He didn't care too much for that. I don't suppose that Bradley feller laughs at too much of anything, though. So I tried to change the subject, maybe get his mind off of things, and I asked him about his family. And boingo, just like that, gets even redder in the face than before. Starts roving and ranting, in between a long stream of cursing and swearing. How dare you ask me how big my 12-year-old's tits are? What in the hell is wrong with ya? You'd think a man would have some pride in his family, but for the love of God, Christ and Bagara, this Bradley fellow is coming off at me like a real piece of charm. Well now, I'm at the point that I'm starting to get right mad about all this hostility. Taken aback, you know. Not really paying attention to what my hands are doing. When he suddenly stops talking, starts looking at me real queer like, all wide-eyed and open-mouthed. At this point, I'm starting to think he's just taking the piss out of me, so I says to him, "Hey, boyo, why you shooting me the funny look?" I then glanced down, and wouldn't you believe it, but sure enough, my hands are wrapped around his little rat dog's throat. Surely the saints would be rolling in their graves if they weren't already through the gates. Then you know something? Just such a little thing struggled awful fierce like there for a minute or two. Well, after it had stopped moving, this here Bradley fella starts stammering, trying to say something. You'd think he never watched a man strangle his dog before his eyes had before or something, the way he was shaking. Christ and Bagara. I tried to throw the body into the bushes nearby, but Brad was still holding the leash, so he just whipped back awful quick like and landed all ragdoll on his feet. Got all quiet, with that queer silence that usually comes after you break wind. So I says to him, I hope your kid gets bigger tits soon. And I continued on my merry way. I don't know if there be a moral to a story such as that, but Christ and Bagara, I think that maybe it ain't really worth it being all neighbourly to a fella like that.
And that was Duncan Speaks, brought to you by Delusional Word Salad.
Easy peasy pudding and pie. Remember the time we killed that guy?
Alex, don't you think you're being a little too casual about this?
I don't talk to Messiah murderers.
All right, well, I've been hearing sirens going by all day. None of them have stopped here, so I'm fairly confident we got away with it. Again.
Turns out those organs I took were worthless.
Poor Jake. Why?
'Cause apparently I have no idea how to remove organs. Apparently the liver I removed was just an upper chunk of the duodenum.
Life can be so cruel sometimes.
All right. Anywho, let's just check the news and make sure we're not on it.
Easter, a time for celebration. A time to remember the day Jesus rose from the grave. However, after today, one church community will remember this particular Easter as the Sunday Bloody Sunday. Apparently, children in the congregation, high on bath salts, were stirred into a frenzy and began to devour each other and anyone they could overpower. While police were able to stop the children with beanbag rounds, the church itself had caught fire, and all 149 inside burned to death in what is now being called the Easter Sunday Massacre. 200 more were injured in the frenzy, and several generations of churchgoers will be mentally scarred for life.
See? All's well that ends well. Told you we'd get away with it.
What have we done?
We've just destroyed hundreds of lives. And a church.
Whatever. Why'd they eat it in the first place? Are they stupid or something? Seems to me they got what they deserve.
Didn't I tell you that they'd eat it?
I don't know what sort of shit kids eat. Look at it this way. Hundreds of lives have been destroyed or irreversibly damaged. Seth killed the homeless rapist I had brought into the studio on a whim. Then we irresponsibly and negligently soaked the corpse in a synthetic drug before cutting it into bite-sized pieces, disguise the bite-sized pieces in Easter eggs, and then deliver them to a place where children would find them. Then all hell broke loose and a couple of people died. Do you know why that story doesn't bother me?
Why?
Because Seth murdered the one true Lord and Savior with a folding chair, and I personally could give a fuck less about the aftermath.
Kinda gives you a warm feeling, doesn't it?
You guys are fucking insane.
Hey, Judas Mark II, don't be so down. At least we haven't fallen as low as Cake Fart Girl.
What in the fuck is Cake Fart Girl?
Cake Fart Girl. She has a series on the internet. Cake Fart, Pudding Fart, Peanut Butter Fart.
And you've seen them all.
Naturally. I mean, you don't look away when some chick is sticking her ass on food. It's a thing, Seth. Look it up.
We've done terrible, terrible things.
Seth, it's things we're at best indirectly responsible for.
Nope. We're definitely responsible for them.
Well, yeah, if you're gonna actually think about them.
Jake, Seth, all's well that ends well.
But
all's well that ends well.